Good afternoon. This is Ken Long of Tortoise Capital with a review of the daily trading from the chat room from January 7th, 2019. So, this is the daily health check, and we're looking at a day that was another grinding upward day in SPY. We've had the big sell off, 1, 2, 3 entry. You can see here's where we got the price crossing the dragon. RL10 is up with the tight channel. RL30 channel is still down. Right back in here, we transitioned from a long, ugly winter to the spring. So there's reasons to be optimistic here. We saw from the weekend report that there were reasons to want to get long. So let's take a look at the intraday frame. There's still room to go. Fair value is Bollinger Band mean and the RL270. And that's the 200 period moving average. So there's still room on the upside without suspending too much disbelief. So we're on DIA now. These will all be on diamonds on 1 minute charts. Here was the opened at the high, sold off. You can see the VWAP selling off here. RL270 and a decline. This looked and felt like a morning hook to me, so I played the 1, 2, 3 entry in here with a stop down here at the low of the day. That collapsed. I was slow to exit. Probably should have gotten out in here, but this was a stop and reverse. Sold off a distance on a 1, 2, 3 entry. Got back in to square up for the day, and then when the price crossed the dragon, this was my entry. Now I'm looking for a return to yesterday's close, which is here, that red dotted line, and I'm hoping to get to the green line is where I would want to add a second position. So by this time we're well in the money, and our stop would be up here below the just below the VWAP, so we're in good shape for the day. We stayed in that one, and now we're up around 2350. This is a little bit later. Now the chart time frame at 11:15 is Eastern. I'm working in Central Time, so in our chat room it shows 10:35 Central. So at 10:35, this long sideways quiet channel felt to me like there was an upward surge coming, and so this is at 10:30, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this bar. In the blue bar, I said in the chat room, the market is preparing for the next upward surge in all indices. And all the indexes look like this. At this time, what we had was this pinch on the MACD. It had held support right in here along the zero line and had just crossed up into positive. And so this looked like a good 1, 2, 3 entry to me if we were not already long. The RL270 was up, and the PSAR had just flipped as well. So when you get a PSAR flip and a state change into summer, that felt really good. And this followed through in the next maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so with about a 75-cent follow through. So you can get a really nice entry here with a stop even below the swing lower in C-2, which is about a 30-cent execution risk, and then that pays off with 2-to-1 execution gains right there. The key point to me was though this identification of the potential alert. It didn't fail further here, and 1, 2, 3, and seasonal change, and a PSAR flip. Somebody asked me in the chat, well, why did you feel up? Well, I dialed out to a 30 minutes and just showed, hey, I'm still looking for this DIA to get up around 242-ish, 241-ish, back to here prior to that sell-off. 2 legs down, 1 leg up, second leg up, 1 leg back, and now Friday's had a really nice move. That was a very positive sign. And then today was just a little continuous. So we're 2 hours into it, and that's what it's looking like intraday. That still feels pretty good. And this moment here is when it went from winter to spring, and this moment here is where it went into summer. So we're in the summer and starting to move, and room to go with a measured stop. That's an automatic play for me. So now we're back onto the 1 minutes, and so in fact it gave us this nice move here. This is where it set up that last time, and it crossed above the 0 line, that 1, 2, 3. And then that's that 75-cent follow through. And then it pulled back into starting to get sideways quiet channel, and then at 11:15, in other words 12:15 in Eastern, I said right in here, hey, the same pattern is forming, the same pattern that gave us this blast last time, only it's now one layer higher. So you had it had held pretty much support near the 0 line, crossed up into spring from winter. The PSAR had flipped. There was a measured stop. There was no sign of panic. All it's got to do is get through 236.20, and this is really good. So I kind of like this pullback and a 1, 2, and triggering in here. And then if that doesn't get you in, then this does. And we're clearly into the spring and breaking out of the river to the upside. The 90 is up, the 270 is up, and the slope of the river is up. So all that feels good. That's this play here. It continues to grind up, get a second position. When we get into the summer here, and it sells off into the fall, but then doesn't break the 0 line to get to the winter, then breaks out to the upside. This is all very favorable. So this nice bounce here, another little RLXD, adding a third position. And then by this time, though, what we've got is the MACD coming out of that red river, getting ready to cross that 0 line. So we take a nice exit on 3 positions here, and that protects us from this. Psychologically wasn't ready for this, but after this quick sell-off, and now we're into the lunch out in Kansas. This looked to me like a potential owl, unambiguous move. P1, dragon rolling up, 30 rolling up, RLXD. So I play the owl at 235.90 with a stop here. That owl doesn't work, so I take a fractional loss before it hits that bottom. By this time, I'm a little gun shy right now because it's in the afternoon, and now I'm waiting to see what's going to happen on this surge. It gets back to where it failed before, and then on the RLXT, now I'm short, and when the price breaks down below here, I feel I'm confirmed. By this time, the PSAR stop is in place. We're in the money, and things are going well, and we've just entered the winter, so I'm on the right side of the indicators here. I want you to notice the RL270 slope up. All of this move in here causes it to flatten out and start to get weak. At the same time, it was getting weak here, and now we are decisively into the week. So this was an easy one to play, and I was looking at this series of lower highs, and again lower highs. This entering short in the pocket is an automatic one. Now you see the 90 is down, the 270's rolled over, the slope of the river is down, and it's the winter time. It's basically going down. This was a markup that Bob Rourke posted for our benefit in the room, and that was just to show when the signal line is above the 0 line in MACD, you get this green price behavior. When it breaks below the 0 line, you get that price behavior. It breaks above the 0 line, you get this, but then quick fail. Now you get this downward price behavior. And then that one closes out later in the afternoon in the pocket for a nice, that's about a 70-cent move on about a 20-cent execution risk. And I want you to notice this is the reversion to the VWAP trade from here, that maximum point of excursion. And I want you to notice this big, when price and everything comes back to the 270, and collapses below. Shortly thereafter, you get this retracement back to the VWAP. And that's a typical afternoon trade. A move back to fair value that I didn't get because we were in that last hour, and I felt satisfied with what we had. So, I just wanted to highlight, there's a few other nice trades that were posted in the chat room earlier today from Heather. Some terrific, where did she get those? Oh, excuse me, over here. Oh, anyway, Heather's got some really nice swing trades pasted in. Sonal's given us some work on the Dow. She and Jeff are back in the States for a while. And so just hit that thumbnail. And we get this. And this was Sonal's work. A couple shorts, a nice long, a re-entry, and a cash. And now stop and reverse at a second short to cover. Re-entry short. Very nicely done. This is all on 3 minutes, but you see that pretty much following the same path that we took with the ones. And even clearer to see on the threes. Notice how you get this very powerful signal here. Even on the threes, it tells you when that move is over. All right, that's everything from Tortoise Capital. Keep your risk measured and your powder dry.